Welcome everyone to our virtual English class. Let us start with our sixth chapter from the book Footprints Without Feet. The title of our chapter is The Making of a Scientist. This chapter is a biographical sketch of a renowned scientist whose name is Richard H. Ebright, who excelled in his research on butterflies and his work on the hormones from the spots on a monarch pupa. Monarch is the name of a species of butterfly, and his resultant findings about the chemical structure of the hormone came out as an answer to one of biology's major puzzles. So Richard Ebright is very famous for his work on the study of cells, etc. And this chapter, through this chapter, we are going to read about him and how did he manage to become such a great scientist. Not only this, but this chapter also conveys a message that if one wants to succeed in life and reach great heights like Richard Ebright, one must have sincerity of purpose, single-minded devotion, and determined will. Because to become great, we need to put in great efforts. It's not that it's just a stroke of luck that somebody becomes great. A great deal of hard work and devotion and determination is needed, and as the formula to become great. So let us read about the author first, who has written this chapter, whose name is Robert W. Peterson. He was an American newspaper writer who later became a freelance author of magazine articles and books, especially on the topics of sports and scouting. We can go ahead by reading about the author. This is the introduction to the scientist about whom we are going to read through this chapter, Richard H. Ebright. He was born on June 11, 1959, and when this chapter probably was written, he was at that time 61 years of age. He belongs to America, and Harvard University's alma mater. Alma mater means the place from where he received mostly his education, and he made his career in biology and molecular biology and did great studies on the life of butterflies. Let's have an introduction to the lesson. Ebright has received the Searle Scholar Award and the Schering-Plough Award for biochemistry and molecular biology. It was his fascination for butterflies that opened the world of science to him. The story is about Richard H. Ebright, who grew up in the town of Reading. Reading is the name of a town in Pennsylvania, USA. As he did not have much to do there because he was a single child, and when he was only in second grade, he lost his father. He used to live with his mother all alone, so he did not have much to do. So his mother prompted him to develop his hobby in collecting things, and he started collecting butterflies as a child in kindergarten. Let's read how this curious child who collected butterflies went on to become one of the greatest scientists of the world. These are some key points from this chapter. If we understand them first, then understanding the chapter will be easier task for us. So let us have a look at the key points. Richard Ebright grew up in Reading in Pennsylvania. In kindergarten, he collected butterflies. His mother would take him on trips, brought him telescope, microscope, camera, mounting material, and other material required for learning. By the time he was in second grade, Ebright had collected all 25 species of butterfly found around his hometown. His mother gave him a children's book called The Travels of Monarch 10. Monarch is a species of butterfly. When he read that book which told how monarch butterflies migrate to Central America, it opened the world of science to Richard. At the end of the book, readers were asked to tag butterflies. Tagging is a methodology through which their travel and other history that can be monitored. For research by Dr. Frederick A. Urquhart of the University of Toronto, Canada. For several years, Hebride's basement was home to thousands of monarchs in different stages of development. He used to catch a few monarch butterflies and then he used to rear them in the basement of his house, and he used to watch and record the stages of their development. He would catch a female monarch, take her eggs, and raise them in his basement through their life cycle from egg to caterpillar to pupa and to adult butterfly. In country science fair, his entry was slides of frog tissues, which he showed under a microscope. When he was in 8th grade, for his 8th grade project, Hebride tried to find the cause of a viral disease that kills nearly all monarch caterpillars every few years. The next year, his science fair project was testing the theory that viceroy butterflies copy monarch. Viceroy and monarch, they are two different species of butterflies. This project was placed first in the zoology division and third overall in the county science fair. He got these prizes for his research. There he won third place for zoology. Indirectly, it also led to his new theory on the life of cells. This project won Hebride first place in the county fair and entry into the International Science and Engineering Fair. In his second year in high school, Richard Hebride began the research that led to his discovery of an unknown insect hormone. Then he published the theory of how cells work in an article in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Science when he was only 22 years old. Hebride grew up in reading, and there he was not able to do anything. He was not able to play football or baseball, but he said that there he could do one thing, that was collecting things. So he collected all sorts of things. In kindergarten, Hebride collected butterflies. He also collected rocks, fossils, and coins. He would observe sky at night too. See, for us, we may think, what was he doing? Just observing things, just collecting things. He was not doing something substantial. But what is happening in this hustle and bustle of life, in this fast-paced running life, we people are forgetting to enjoy these beautiful experiences like observing the sky at night full of twinkling stars and satellites and other things. So one has to be observant enough to be a great scientist. He would live with his mother there in Pennsylvania. He used to live with his mother, who encouraged his interest in learning. Mother would normally take him on trips, and she bought him telescope, microscope, camera, mounting material, and other material required for learning. Hebride lost his father when he was in 3rd grade. His mother would call him Richie because his name was Richard, so lovingly she used to call him Richie. Mother would discuss with him every night and give him mental exercise instead of physical exercise, which he wanted to learn. So parents, encouraging parents, they contribute a lot in the growth of their children. By the time he was in 2nd grade, Hebride had collected all 25 species of butterflies found around his hometown. Though we have read this point already in the keynotes, yet now since we have started with the explanation part of the chapter, it is again important for us to revise it. Richard said that this would have been end of his butterfly collection, but his mother gave him a children's book called The Travels of Monarch 10. That book, which told how monarch butterflies migrate to Central America, opened the world of science to Richard. This is the book, Travels of Monarch 10. So when Richard, being a student of class 3rd only, read this book, he was very much fascinated, and he did exactly what was written at the last page of the book. At the end of the book, readers were invited to help study butterfly migration, because this is how the scientists and the biologists, they come to know about the different stages of development and their migration theory, etc. So one professor, whose name was Dr. Frederick A. Urquhart, from the University of Toronto, Canada, he had written and he had asked the readers to tag butterflies for research. Anyone who found a tagged butterfly was asked to send the tag to Dr. Urquhart. Tagging is like this. In this picture you can see it's a butterfly, and and since butterfly is very delicate, so on one of the wings, um, just kind of this tag you can see, a tag which contains all the information about the butterfly's life further and the traveling history. So this is how they are tagged, and when somebody next happens to catch the same butterfly, they would read and they would remove this tag from the butterfly's wings, and as requested by Dr. Ukuhart, these tags were sent to him because he was also studying on these travels of monarch butterfly. So these are once again important points that we have read up till now and further too, but next points we are going to discuss in the next lesson. Till then, keep reading.